Good morning, y'all. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to hold this because I like to move around a little bit. But I just want to say that y'all are my favorites. Y'all really are. I love talking to young mamas because I can barely remember it, but I was one. I had 4 little ones, 5 and under. So I've been there. And you may be thinking, this girl's going to come in here and talk about service. I just wish my sink was empty, or I just wish my laundry was done, right? Y'all right on that? Yeah, have y'all read it this week? Okay. It's about the gospel and my service. I remember those days, and I understand that you are knee-deep in little ones, and you think, how can I do anything else above this? Well, you know what? You don't have to. This is your service. This is part of your service. This is where you are right now. And I remember those days. And I had to put some things aside. I had to put some things aside and wait until it was time for doing things for other people. But this is your service. I'm so happy to be back with you. Last time I spoke on the gospel and childbirth, which is something I'm very passionate about. I love that subject. But this one is one that I'm very passionate about too. Now, I do have my name tag on. You had to put what you were passionate about. I put grandchildren and tigers in parentheses. So y'all, I'm that, but of course. But I love where you are in life. It is one of the most busiest, one of the most stressful. I promise you, though, you're going to get through it. You're gonna look back and say, oh, I wish I could go back. Am I right, girls, back there? Yeah. You're like, oh, I loved it. Yeah, I love it. What'd you say? Oh, yeah, well, in some ways, yes. Yeah, maybe if I know now, yeah, what I know now and take it back, yeah, but. Yeah. You heard Miss Louise tell you about the Dream Center, and I do spend a lot of time working and volunteering there now, but it hasn't always been that way. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It is a nonprofit in Easley, and we began in a group just like this one. We were together at Rock Springs Baptist Church, a bunch of women in Bible study on Tuesday mornings. This is Wednesday, I know, but Tuesday mornings. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it is. It's Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, that's my days now. But we were convicted about doing something outside of our 4 walls of our church. We came to Bible study. We loved it. We came, we brought our kids, we hung out together. And one of us read the book, Same Kind of Different as Me. Y'all know what that book is? There was a movie out about it not too long ago. But it's the story of a very wealthy art dealer befriending a homeless man. And their relationship grew, and he began to understand that they don't always just need some money. And the guy that he befriended, the homeless man, he said, I know a lot of people who talk about Bible reading the Bible and going to church. But he said, what I'd love to see is more people doing Bible doings. And so we started calling a little project Bible Doings. And we reached out into our community, and we started seeing things that we had never seen before. We started seeing homeless people. We had never even noticed them before. And I was convicted about that. We all were. And knowing that there were charities just right around our area that had needs, we decided we would just start calling every week and saying, what do you need? And so over the next year, we took up toilet paper and trash bags and paper towels and tampons and all kinds of stuff to give out to these charities so that they could distribute them. Well, one of them was a soup kitchen that we did not even know existed, girls. We were so insulated in our little world in our church and thought we were doing great, and we were, but the Lord began to open our eyes to some things around us. And so over that year, we began to serve in this soup kitchen and learning so much about the homeless community and people who would come in to eat in that soup kitchen in Easley. And we loved doing it, but we began to see that there are a lot more homeless people than we ever knew existed in Easley, South Carolina. I mean, I would have never even known. So we started getting together in a little coffee shop in Easley and praying about what do we do? What do we do? And that grew into what we now have as the Dream Center. We've purchased a school. We have a year-long program for young women like you who are homeless or have never even known anything about how to raise their children or operate in the world, or they don't know the love of Jesus. Never had parents that taught them, anything like that. So we have a year-long program about that. Let me go back a little bit. That grew from that group, just drinking coffee and praying together. We helped our first lady, and then we started helping different ladies. We learned a lot the hard way too, with lots of failure along the way. Our motto is offering a hand up, not a handout. Now, I am what we call a crisis intervention specialist. That's a long word for I just listen, basically. When somebody comes in the door, I listen to them, and for my own purposes, I like to say, I gather some information, I meet the immediate need, and then I offer some hope. And that really is what we do at the Dream Center on a daily basis. Somebody comes in the door, I mean, it may be they need cat food for their cat. That might be all they have. Or they might need a shower, which you can take at the Dream Center. They might need their clothes washed. They might need a tent. They might need a blanket. I've given out so much stuff like that, and it varies so widely. Always encourage them to get involved in a local church, and we'll help them get clothes if they need that. So it's that kind of thing that I do there, but I've seen so many crazy stories, y'all. So many crazy stories. One of the hard things is that the physical need can't always be met, and right now, one of the biggest needs is housing, affordable housing. And y'all know how hard it is to own a home now. But imagine never living in one place for any length of time, not knowing what it's like to go home. We had a girl that came in with her mom to our year-long program, and they live in a tiny home when they come in, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. But the little girl never unpacked her suitcase, and so one of our ladies was in there with them. She's like, why aren't you unpacked? She's like, Mommy, are we gonna stay here? She had never known what it was like to live somewhere. That by itself is one of the most encouraging things, is to see what happens to the children that come in. Just having a stable place to be. They thrive, y'all. They thrive. They get smiles on their faces. They grow. That program is called Opportunity Village. And on our campus in Easley, we have 24 tiny homes. And when a young mom comes in and goes through our process of application, she gets into the program. She lives there for a year in the tiny home with her children. And through that year, the first few months, no cell phones, no computers. You just come in and you're just filled with classes. We help meet physical, spiritual, mental, and financial needs. We help try to stabilize all of those areas with counselors and teaching classes, and you go in and you do that. For every class you take, you earn what we call dream dollars, and we learn how to use money through those dream dollars. They begin to purchase their general needs, and anybody can come in and take these classes, not particular their classes, but in the community we have people that come in and take the classes and earn those dream dollars. We have a little general store on campus where you can purchase soap and diapers and formula and stuff like that. You can use them to take showers. You can use them to wash your clothes. We have places for all of that. But then beyond that first 4 months with the Opportunity Village, you begin to job train. We begin to help you job train and learn how to pay your bills with those dream dollars. And as you get a job and transition time, you learn to use real dollars to begin paying rent and establish that kind of discipline. The children thrive, they go to school, they learn, and our next goal, some of you may have seen, J.L. Mann chose us as their project for their Spirit Week, and they raised over $500,000, y'all. I know, right? It was incredible. Now, of course, though, everybody thinks we don't need any money. We always need money. We're going to use that to hire counselors for children, hire them to help them get through the traumas and deal with the traumas that they have been through in their lives. And we have all across the board. One in particular that comes to mind, Haley. Her mother sold her as a child to raise money for herself. Not away, but in trafficking, basically, is what you call that. So she's dealing with those kind of traumas, and now she has 3 children of her own. So there's all kinds of things that happen in this ministry. Now, if we can't meet the need, we find somebody who can in the area, and we try to connect all of these ministries. We love to be like an umbrella. If we can't do it, we're going to find help for you. So there's hope. So that last thing is always offer hope, and we always offer it in Jesus. Almost 100% of the girls that come and stay in the Opportunity Village come to know Jesus as Savior. And y'all, it is a transformation like you have never seen. They go from quiet, scared, to smiling, singing. They're just, the whole countenance has changed. That's one of the amazing things about what I get to see is the gospel come alive right before me. How the Lord changes you. Now, there's a whole lot more to it. We have Santa Shop. You could get people come in and they can earn Santa Shop dollars and then come and shop for their children for Christmas. Every time you come to a class, I'm trying to talk fast so I can get all this in, but you earn Santa Shop dollars, you come in and you can shop and wrap your children's gifts. It's just like that, Christmas. I mean, it is perfect, perfectly wonderful. Right now we're up to 200 families right now, getting ready to start that. So it's an amazing process. We have a Samaritan's Health Clinic, like Taylor's health clinic up here. We have Samaritan's Clinic in Easley, and they have opened up a dental office in our building, full dental office for those who can't afford dental work. So you can get a cleaning, you can get x-rays, you can get all these things in this office. We have an after-school programs for teens. There are so many things that the Lord is doing in the Dream Center. So we went from serving in a soup kitchen with a few ladies to now 4 resale stores in Greenville, Easley, Pickens, and Seneca, soon to be in Anderson. And you can use your Dream Dollars in any of those stores for anything. And hundreds of employees, over 800 volunteers a year. I mean, it is just amazing what the Lord has done. And I kind of am shocked at it because it started around a table just like this. And that's what God can do when we choose to serve. When we choose to open our eyes and see that there are needs around us. I mean, y'all, like I said, y'all are all busy with your children. Y'all are all busy with your families, trying to make ends meet, trying to take care of little ones, and you feel swamped half the time. That's where you are to serve. The number one place you are to serve is in your home and with your children. That's where you start. And that's where you and your children learn to serve. You learn to serve there. What are some ways that you can teach this service attitude because of the gospel, this service attitude in your own home? I looked up a couple of things, and I love that you teach your children to help each other. They see you serve your husband, serve them, help them, be patient with them most of the time, right? Yeah. Y'all chuckling because I remember. I love the word for when we were created in Genesis, the word for Eve is Azer, and that word means helper. Now, a lot of us kind of cringe, what do we helper? But the definition for that is a necessary support, guide, a steadier, one that steadies. And if you think about our role as moms, that is what we do. We help steady those around us. We guide our children. We help steady. Now, it doesn't mean we always feel steady, am I right? No, I know. I've seen y'all. I know. And I was there, so I don't always feel steady. But have you ever thought about, most of you have a mom that can come in and help you a little bit with some stuff. Some of you don't, I understand that. But when your mom walks in the door, you just kind of feel, okay. Or have you seen it in your children when they're all upset about something and then sometimes mom comes in and it just calms things down? And that's the way the Lord looks at us too. When we allow him, when we look to serve, when we look to see him, there is a peace that kind of washes over us. But that is an Azair. The Lord referred to himself as that. You are a steadier, a peace, a calm. And you are an essential aid. Do y'all know what a buttress is? Oh, that's a funny word, I know. I laughed at it when I first thought of it because, buttress. I would not want to be called a buttress. But y'all know what a buttress is? It's these, and I may be getting this totally wrong, but it's what it looks like to me. These lines that, how about the bridge in downtown Greenville? There's lines that the wires that steady the bridge. If they weren't there, what would happen? It'd fall. Those are a kind of an example of what we are. We steady those that we are connected to. And that is what the Lord does for us. And in response, we serve other people. We serve as the steadier, the helper. And when someone comes into the Dream Center and they are upset, scared, can't pay the bills, don't know what they're going to do with it, whatever situation it is, we like to think we are going to help, and immediately there comes a calm and there is hope for something different. Doesn't mean it's without pain, doesn't mean it's without change, but we're steadier. So, first of all, serve in your own home. That teaches your children. Help your children serve each other. Do helpful things and explain to them why. That's where it starts. You don't have to start a nonprofit, okay? You don't have to start a nonprofit. I was in my late 40s when this happened, so my children were older, and they saw and they served. They went to the soup kitchen and they served. Find someone outside your home. Find someone outside your home to do something for. It can be a neighbor. It can be your parents. I mean, it can be anything like that. But to do something, bake some cookies with your children and explain to them, everybody doesn't have everything that we do. We want them to feel that hope. We want them to feel good and to recognize that we are serving because of what Jesus did for us. And you just do little things like that. Explain to them, we've been blessed, and we're so loved by Jesus, we want everybody else to know that they are loved by him too. One of the most impactful things that ever happened to me in this role, and I will just be honest with you, when we first started, I thought, yes, I can offer something. I have something to give here, and some of you may have heard this story. But there was a man that came in, and this was before we put everything in computers, so I don't remember his name, and I can't look him up. But he came in, he had just gotten out of prison. The Lord had saved him miraculously in prison, but he had prison tattoos head to toe. I mean, covered all over. He was out, he was having trouble getting a job, he just felt hopeless. He had burned all the bridges with his family through drugs and alcohol and other things that he had done, so he literally felt totally alone and hopeless and couldn't get a job. And one of the things that he said to me was, I have all my mistakes on my face. Literally on his face. All my sin is right here for everybody to see, and nobody can see past it. And y'all, it gives me chills still to this day when I realize that's what I look like to Jesus. He can see every sin that I committed, all my thoughts, all my failures. He sees that, yet what does he do? He says, come here. Come here. Jesus covered that. That's what I see. I see you washed clean. I see you made new. And so I tried to communicate that with him, and he knew it. And I wish I knew what happened to him. We helped connect him with some people that had helped those who've just gotten out of prison with felonies, and I hope he got a job, and I hope he's doing great. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had the privilege of going to the Dove Awards. If y'all don't know what that is, that's the Christian Music Awards, like GMAs. This is Christian CMAs, okay, Christian Music Awards. And I got to see Jelly Roll. Y'all know who Jelly Roll is? Okay, y'all do more than I did. But he also has the tattoos on his face. I know that he's trying to get them removed. But he won something, and he said, I just want to say this to everybody. I was one of the least of these. And people came and visited me in prison. People helped me see the truth. People came, and he finished with saying, I was one of those. Thank you. People thought they couldn't talk to me because I'm a big dude with tattoos and, but I am one of the least of those. And you came to me, and that's what we have to do. Y'all, that's what we are called to do. Go to the least of these. Now, I promise you, if you open your eyes, you're going to see somebody who needs help around you. It might even be somebody in this room. It might be a mama just struggling to make ends meet or just struggling in the day-to-day grind. How about get some cookies? You don't even have to make them. You can go to Lowe's food store and get those toffee butter cookie things that are just to die for and drop some off and just say, I was thinking about you. That's something you can do with your children or not. Just go down the road and do something. But if you start looking for it, the Lord's going to open your eyes because we literally are the hands and feet here of Jesus. And y'all, that's what the gospel does. It transforms. And it may not mean that all the laundry gets done that day. It may not even mean that the kids stop crying and yelling and screaming or get well that day. But just that little touch, just that little offering of, hey, it's going to be okay. You will get through it. Enjoy a cookie, right? Thank y'all for listening. That's where we are. Go and serve. Watch for them. You'll see them as you watch for it, and ask the Lord to show you, what can I do? Like I said, it doesn't mean you got to start a nonprofit. It doesn't even mean you have to volunteer 20 to 40 hours a week or anything. Just start small. Help your children see. The gospel shows us that we get to serve. Thank you. If y'all have any questions about the Dream Center, please just come on and ask me. I'll be happy to help you. Look on our website, and you'll see all sorts of things. So always opportunities there to serve with your kids, too. Thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yum. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.